Hi everybody, you're watching Tattooner, and my name is John. Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of our 3-part series on Agraffes. Agraffes, if you'll recall from the first video, are little brass pieces that play a very large role in a grand piano. And there's a 105-year-old grand piano here that I'm restoring, and we are working our way through it, literally one tiny little piece at a time, so there's quite a lot of work to do. But this video series is dedicated to these small parts. They're called Agraffes, and in particular what we're doing is getting them cleaned up and polished up so we can put them back in the piano in like new condition. Now in the first video we covered the basics of cleaning them up, which was just a little bit of filing, a little bit of wire brushing, and then taking them to the buffing wheel to use a coarse compound called Tripoli, which is made to remove dirt and grease and such from brass and other soft metals. Today, in part 2, we're moving on to the second part of the polishing phase, which is where we employ what's called the white rouge. White rouge is another kind of polishing compound with slightly finer material, which will produce a slightly finer polish. And then, of course, part 3 will be when we use the red rouge, or the jeweler's rouge, which will give us our final brilliant shine on these pieces. So this is going to be a relatively short video today because we're just basically doing a round of quick polishing. We don't have to prep them as much this time, and the final work to finish them off, which will take some more detail and some more effort, will take place during the third video. So, without further ado, let's have a look at our progress on our Agraffes in this part 2 of our series, Agraffes. The word Agraffe comes from the French language, specifically Middle French, which I assume is a much older version of French. You know, like Old English or Middle English. I guess you got your Middle French. Anyway, in that language there is a word spelled A-G-R-A-F-E-R, which I suppose poorly pronounced probably reads something like Agraffe or Agraffes. I don't know. My French is terrible. Anyway, from that word is derived this noun, agraffe. But agraffer means to seize with a hook or to clasp. So basically to hook or to clasp in some way is the original meaning of the word from which we get the word agraffe. Now if you look at the agraffe itself, you see the 3 little holes. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 1. But the agraffe itself is fixed in a set place in the piano, and the wires of the piano strings travel through the holes of the agraffe, thus confining their position, thus holding them, thus clasping them, if you will. So this is basically a little metal hook whose job it is to hold the string in place. And the word comes from French. So friends, we're in the shop today and we are working on the Agraffes. And as I mentioned in the intro, today we're doing the second of 3 passes on the buffing wheel to polish them up and make them beautiful. Here is the compound we used for the first step. This is called Tripoli. The Tripoli compound we used to just take the dirt off, take the grease off, take the age off the brass, and get it ready to be polished. But it's not really a polishing job as much as a cleaning job. However, this is what we call white rouge. This particular compound has a finer degree of particle in it, has finer abrasives in it, and its purpose is to start bringing on that shine. And if you look at these that I've already done, you can take me at my word. They are gleaming. They are looking really nice. And here, let me pan back a little bit, and perhaps you can see the front row have been polished a second time with the white rouge, while the back row are still waiting for their turn, having been only polished with the Tripoli. Now, granted, this video may not be revealing, and of course the angles that they're at might change how the light is reflecting off of them, but I want to assure you, this front row of pieces is really shiny, beautiful, while the back row is looking perfectly good, very nice and clean, but by no means are they quite shining as well as this front row. So this buffing stuff really works. And I want to be the first to admit, I don't know a whole lot about it, though I should. My father was a metal finisher, and he was constantly working with metal, precious metals, base metals, every kind of in between. And he knew all about this stuff. Kind of wish he was here sometimes. Yeah, I wish he was here now. I think he'd be impressed, maybe even proud of what he sees happening here. If nothing else, I could put the guy to work and make him finish polishing these for me. So let's go back to the wheel and finish up this job. Well now, shop is looking a little more clean. That's good news. There's some more good news. Our Agraffes look fantastic. Very nice. We've got a shinier, smoother, brighter brass coming along, and I am really impressed. As a novice metal polisher, I'm here to tell you, I am fascinated by this. These look so neat. They look so great. And we've got one more pass to go. We still have to get the jeweler's rouge, the red rouge, the final buffing compound into the picture. And then, of course, we've got some holes to clean up. There we go. All these holes are going to need some attention. They're still in the original 100-year-old black, dirty condition. So we've got our work cut out for us. But I would call this a success. All right, everybody, we're about done here. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, here's a wrinkle anybody can be proud to have on their face. That's the impression left over from the mask I was wearing. Mask wearing is important in the shop for all kinds of reasons, mainly about controlling dust and what have you. And I was certainly doing that just now while finishing up the Agraffes. Of course, they're not finished. We are now done with stage 2 of 3. We've done the white rouge, and now the next stage will be to polish with the red rouge. And then after that, we still have more work to do, all coming soon in part 3 of our video series on Agraffes. But after I get the polishing done, then the job will be to finish the holes. The holes in the Agraffes need some polishing if you like, but we're gonna have to figure out something special, devise some kind of trick to make that happen. Anyway, like and subscribe. That's a phrase I'm still learning to say regularly and often enough. Please like the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Tell the world. I mean, that's why we're here. YouTube is our window to the world, and I'm glad you're with me. So thanks again, and do come back around for part 3 of Agraffes. Till then, this is John, and you're watching Tattooner.